The name Tusen means 1,000 in English because it's situated 1,000 meters over the sea level. When you shall design a building on the top of the mountain, you have nothing to refer to. It's a landscape with a big scale, and Rommenberg is a rather small ski resort with genuine atmosphere, and they have focus on quality, and they have a tradition as mountain farmers. But our mission was to design a building that would harmonize with the landscape character, both in shape and material. And we put the restaurant between the ski lifts to emphasize the building's relation to the nature more than to the built structure. It's also has been an ambition to have a nice situation for hikers during the summertime. So therefore we have a material on the facade, the birch logs that you can see close to the buildings. It's situated exactly in the border between the mountain where no trees is and border where the trees and the birch started to grow. The restaurant has a place for 125 guests in 2 floors and a mezzanine floor, and takes its fresh water from a nearby spring. It has its own sewage treatment facility. To make as little impact as possible to the environment, we used poles, and we used also some of the holes for heating the building and to drill for the water. I like that we could use a material that is very common but not used in this way in Sweden otherwise than in the Sami people. So the birch logs and the facade and the round shape that makes the wind pass and the snow stay on the building. So when it's very much snow and wind in the winter, it's almost white as the surroundings. And during the summer, when the birch logs and the birches stands beside, it's about the same color. In the interior, we try to use bark on the walls so you can feel the atmosphere of nature when you enter it too, because of the carpet that has the same color as the moss around. And the bio-fireplace also play a role in the interior because it gives a warm and inviting atmosphere. We hadn't so much floor space, and if you shall dig a stone fireplace, a traditional fireplace, it would take very much of the space in the interior, and it wouldn't be possible to make the interior as open as we wanted. Our intention was to make it as open interior as possible, and that bio-fireplace was a natural choice because it's a fire and we could choose more than one. It's very common in Swedish traditional houses, but it's not so common today to make it of stone. It's more like metal fireplaces that not take so much space in the interior. And the reason that you use it in a house in Sweden is because of the atmosphere of a fireplace, of course, but also sometimes you turn down the temperature in the building, so it's an easy way of warming up the building when you enter the house, the vacation house. In the traditional villas, it's not as common as in vacation houses in the mountains and in the summer houses. We wanted as many people as possible to be able to feel the atmosphere around the fire. And so we have 2 fireplaces that a lot of people could see and feel the fire, although it was not necessary to get the warmth because it's a warm building. So otherwise you choose a traditional fireplace because you also need the heat to warm you. But in this case you can always go very close to the fire and warm your fingers if you want, but it's not the intention. And I have been rebuilding a lot of houses during the years, and I know that fixed things like a fireplace or a chimney is a limit when you change the use of the building. By having movable bio-fireplace, it is easy to move them around and put them on other places, and you can use them in a new position. The reasons that we used bio-fireplace, it was because of its mobility and because the openness and still have the warmth of a fire could make a good atmosphere in the interior. I think the ethanol fires are very suitable for the Scandinavian design at the moment. The cleanness and the simpleness of them are very useful in the modern houses. In new Scandinavian houses, I think there's a lot of solutions that makes them very useful, and I think they have a future in Sweden. No, I didn't actually, because when you participate, of course, in the competition, you always have a hope that you will be able to win. But we were very glad and surprised that we, in fact, won, because I wasn't at the ceremony. I was sitting on the restaurant with my wife and my kids. So I was really surprised when they called me on the phone and tell me that we won. So a little surprise, I have to admit.